know what? Everybody has excuses. Excuses as to why they're not going to the gym. Excuses as to why they're not working to make their lives better. Excuses as to why they're allowing themselves to get overweight, out of shape, go downhill. Excuses for people letting their lives slide. And you know what? In their minds, those excuses, they're pretty real. When you're in that situation, those excuses, that feels like your reality. And you know what? Sometimes those excuses are totally legit. Sometimes you got other responsibilities. You got kids. You got other things going on. You got a parent you're taking care of. You got something that's taking up your time, and that is a completely legit excuse. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have an excuse. It doesn't matter if your excuse is legit, because your life is going downhill and you're not stopping it. So if you're not stopping it, you're allowing it to go downhill. You're allowing things to get worse. And even if you have a completely legit excuse, you're still letting it happen. Let me take you back 2 years ago in my life. Let's go even further back. 15 years ago. Mountain biking accident. I used to be into mountain biking. I took a header 10 feet down onto concrete in a skate park. And when I took that header, I came down and now I don't remember this because my mind has blocked this out because of the pain involved. But when I took that header, I must have gone like this. And the reason I say that is because this bone broke off, went through my elbow and shattered it, went through the hard shell pads that I was wearing and hit the concrete. I know that because there's a hole in those hard shell pads where my bone came through. I know it shattered my elbow because my elbow was shattered. I also broke these two bones right here. I now have 2 metal plates, 14 screws, and 2 metal rods in here. I can't straighten my arm out all the way anymore, but I've gotten most of my movement back. The strength is back pretty good. This arm is still a little bit less strong than that arm though. That is something I have had to overcome. Going to the gym, getting into shape. I have something that is a constant reminder that I was broken. I have something that doesn't allow me to do certain things in the gym. I have to find ways around. That is one of the things I had to overcome. I don't do a lot of barbell movements because I have stability issues because of what happened here. I have nerve damage. So I work around that by doing a lot of cable machines to get past that. A lot of cases, cables are better anyways because they have constant tension, but that's a different story. That's something I've had to do to overcome because of this injury. I don't bench press without being on a Smith machine because I have stability issues. That is something I've had to overcome. I have to deal with pain in this elbow sometimes because even though I've had to do the workarounds on it, it still hurts. And I have to put up with that. That is something that I still have to overcome. Now that happened 15 years ago. I never thought I'd be able to work out after that. I did get back into mountain biking after that for a little while. And I was able to do it pretty well. And I got most of my stability back. Eventually I got most of my strength back. At any rate, that is something I had to overcome back then. Something that still nips at me now. But 2 years ago, I'm working as a truck driver. Some of you may not know this, but I do have a day job. My day job is that I'm a truck driver. 2 years ago, I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week. I'm working 6 days a week. I'm picking up a shift of overtime every day on the weekends. I want to go to the gym, but I don't have time. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to work out. I don't even have time to cook properly. So I'm eating like crap. I've luckily gotten together with my wife and she does most of the cooking. Actually, let me be brutally honest, she does all the cooking. She says she has her nutritionist ticket, and to the point where she can run a kitchen in a hospital. That's the level of ticket that she has. She's run restaurants before, and she told me that if I ever worked for her in one of her restaurants, she'd fire me because I make too much of a mess and I use up way too many utensils and way too many bowls and way too many of everything for no good reason. I create too much mess in the kitchen. I don't disagree with her. I used to think I was a good cook. She's much better than I am. I let her do that. So I've gotten to the point now where she takes care of most of the cooking, and that's good for me. She knows what she's doing. So that's a plus that I've got now, but I did not have that before. So I was basically eating out all the time. I used to think it was funny. If you looked in my fridge, I had nothing but condiments. There was no food in there because if I got food, it would go bad because I was never cooking. I was never home. So I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week. I have no time to work out. I have no time to go to the gym. I have no time to eat well. I have no time to cook. I have no time for anything. I come home, I'm exhausted. I sit down on the couch. I eat something that I picked up at A&W or McDonald's. I basically crash out on the couch, watch TV for 3-4 hours, go to sleep, get up, do it all again in the morning. I see that as normal, and I see that as something that is okay, because I think to myself, I'm 46 years old at the time, I think to myself, I'm just getting old. I feel like shit because I'm getting old. This is the new normal. Then one day I think to myself, I should go into my doctor and I should get a checkup. 46 years old, I'm at about that time. I should probably maybe go in for a checkup once in a while. I go in for a checkup. My doctor tells me, he says, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he says, you're pre-diabetic. You're getting ready to die of a heart attack. Figure your shit out or die. It's basically what he told me. In much nicer words, but that's what he said. That's what he meant. So I go home. I'm sitting there, I'm eating a plate of spaghetti in my chair while I'm watching TV, and I look down at this thing and I think to myself, one day I'm gonna keel over in my plate of spaghetti, and the paramedics are gonna come in here and they're gonna pull my fat, disgusting body out of my plate of spaghetti with it all over my face, and they're gonna pull me out like that, and that's how I'm gonna die. Think about that. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. So I went and bought a gym membership. And I walked into that gym with this notebook. And I walked up to every machine and I looked at it and I was like, what do you do? And I figured it out. I figured out what every machine did. I went home and I looked up exercise programs and schedules, and I didn't go looking for somebody to do it for me. I wanted to be involved in this. So I learned everything I could. And it was a learning curve, and it took me some time. And if I had it to go back over and do it again, I might have gone for some help. But in the end, I think it was better for me because I learned a lot. I learned slowly by trial and error, by doing tons of research, how to work out and how to work out properly. But I took the time to do that. I stopped working that extra shift on the weekends. My health is worth more than that. I try not to work so many hours in a day, but I'm still at the point where I'm working 50 to 60 hours a week. That is still my normal. So you 40-hour a week work people who are saying you don't have time, I'm still doing 50 to 60 hours more. Every week I'm doing 50 to 60 hours of work. I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym about 17 hours a week. 3 days a week I go out. 5:30 in the morning, and I put in an hour, and then I go in that night and I do another 3 hours. I do my leg days usually about 3 hours. I do 4 days a week. I go twice. One day I go once for leg day, and I take 2 rest days. And in those rest days, every once in a while, I still pop in and I do a little bit of cardio. Unless I feel I need the rest, then I take the rest. However, so I'm still in the gym 17 hours a week. So I'm up to 50, 60, plus that 17 hours a week. I make these videos. I edit these videos. I spend a bunch of time doing research about how to make my life better, how to make my body better, better nutrition, better workouts. I research this all the time. When you're at home watching Netflix, I'm researching workouts. And I try to keep that to a minimum. I basically, when I have my evening meal, I spend it watching research videos on YouTube usually. If I do take some time to watch something, I usually got YouTube on and I'm watching research videos. I'm researching how to make my life better. I'm not binge watching everything I can possibly watch. I'm not watching 5 or 6 hours of television a day. That's where you're losing your time. But anyways, I digress. So that is something I had to overcome. I had to do all these things. I had to do these things or die. So I got up off my ass and I went out and I did them. And my excuses were valid. I'm 46 years old. I should be able to rest. I worked 50 to 60, 70 hours a week. I don't have time to go work out. I don't have time to eat properly. I overcame every single one of my excuses. And I still do. To this day, I still overcome them all the time. And I still work through. This is still hard, but I still do it. And I don't get to stop doing it. This is my normal from now on. I spend my time learning productivity and being productive in order to better my life. And now I've also taken on, over and above that, trying to better other people's lives, trying to teach this to other people, trying to get other people motivated to go and do the same thing, trying to build that into making a stronger society. I mean, I've basically taken this hobby and I've turned it into my calling. This is all my time. Your excuses are valid. They are. I'm not going to take that away from you. But if you don't overcome them, you're going to be sick. You're going to die. You're going to feel horrible. You're going to go through all those things that you wouldn't have to do if you just overcame your excuses. I recently, I guess it was probably about 6 months ago now, had a gentleman come up to me a couple times that I knew through work. He said he'd been following me online, and he was really impressed. He was give or take about the same age as me, and he wanted to feel better about himself. He had a stomach, he had a gut. He didn't feel healthy, and he wanted to do what I was doing. He asked me for my help, and I said, I will help you. I said, do you go out and get a gym membership at the gym? We live in the same town, so there's only one gym there. So get a gym membership at the gym that I work out at, and I'll help you. I'll help you build a workout program. I will help you to feel better about yourself. And he said he was going to do that. And then I didn't hear from him. I ran into him a couple more times. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. A couple months went by like that. He had a heart attack. He was in the hospital for quite a while after that. And now he's had a heart attack and he's got to overcome that issue. Coming back from a heart attack is way harder than coming back from getting ready to have a heart attack. So you got to decide what level you're going to be at. You got to decide how you want the rest of your life to be. If you think you feel bad now, If you think it's going to stay like that you're not going to feel worse over time, you're mistaken. If you don't do something to fix it, you're going to feel worse and worse and worse and worse. It's not going to get better on its own. You have to put in the work. All right? I had another kid get a hold of me recently. He got a hold of me and he said, you knew my dad in high school and you don't know me, but I feel horrible about myself and I want some help. Will you please help me? And I said, brother, that hurts me. That hurts me that you're going through that, and I will of course help you. I said, you go get a gym membership and I'll help you get into shape. And I will help you through these waters. I'll help you to get clear of them. I'll do what I can for you. I sent that message and he gave a thumbs up to that message, not even a reply. I kept up on his social media for a little bit after that, and he kept putting up posts about how he's drinking under the bridge, and if anybody wants to come join him, feel free, or, my life sucks, or, you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. But if you get to that point where you feel like you want to change, then you got to jump on it, brother. You got to jump on it, because you don't have all the days you think you have. You don't have nearly as many days as you'd like to believe you have. You may not have many left at all if you don't fix something. You may be swimming in the deep end already with that shark coming for you, and you got to do something to get yourself out of there. You may not have the time to wait. So you got to overcome your excuses. You have to. Because if you don't, your excuses may just kill you. I don't want to see that. I want to see you do well. I want to see you pull yourself up. I want to see you just live the absolute best life you can. Make the absolute best version of yourself that you can. You deserve to meet that person. But you got to work at it. I can't do it for you. You got to work at it. You got to jump in. You got to be willing to make the changes. You got to overcome your excuses. You got to overcome your demons. You got to jump on board. All right. Brother, I hope I see you on the other side of where you're at right now. I hope I see you alive, well, happy, and just living a beautiful life. Best life you can. I want to see your story just be beautiful. But you got to pick up that pen and start writing. Okay? You can't be the hero if you don't take charge. All right. I just want to see you all do well. I want to see everybody help each other up. I want to see everybody pull themselves up. Because that's the first thing that's got to happen. You got to pull yourself up. Before anybody can help you, you got to start pulling yourself up. You got to give that person something to grab onto to help you. You got to be present. You've got to be involved in your own salvation. All right? You got to do that, because if you don't, you can't be saved. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. You got to do the work. All right. I love you guys. I really hope that you pull yourselves out of where you're at. I really hope that you pull yourselves into the best story you could ever imagine. If you'd like to help me out here, help out the channel, help out the Good Man Initiative, feel free to drop a follow, a like, a subscription. If you go down into the description on this video, you will see links to other social media sites. If you could give those a click, follow me in other areas. I do throw some different stuff up in different places. I'm especially active on Facebook, so go up there and give me a follow there and a like, and join in on some discussion there and see some of my workout pictures and stuff and updates and stuff that you just don't see here. Feel free to follow me on Instagram too. All those links will be down in the description. I'll also have a link to my Patreon if you feel like helping out the Good Man Initiative, helping us build bigger, build better. If you feel like what we're doing is worth it, then please feel free to go over to Patreon and become a patron. If you can't afford it, then please don't. don't go over there. I don't want to take money from people who can't afford to give it. If you've got it to give, then please feel free. If you think I deserve it, if you don't got it to give, then brother, just follow along with me. You just keep going until you do got enough for yourself first. All right. These are tough times. I understand that. So I'm not asking for handouts. I'm just saying, if you want to help out and you feel like it's worth it, then please feel free to do that. If not, then brother, I'm totally good with that too. All right. Everybody take care of each other. Help your fellow man out. Help your fellow man up. Be good role models. And just write that story. Make yourself the hero of it. All right. I love you guys.